Hello, Wheatonfreak976 here with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. This is a special video I wanted to do for a good friend of mine who gave me a lot of info and stuff, and she is a really awesome person. I got her name wrong last time. Sorry about that, Lisa. Vampirus on the Prowl Q. Hope I got it right that time. But she was talking about who really are the most discriminated group in this country. And it's not, believe it or not, it's not blacks, it's not gays, it's not Mexicans. It's the handicapped and disabled. Here's one bit of proof that I got from Media Dis and Dat. It's a newspaper in Tennessee. Hate crimes up in Tennessee. Total number of hate crimes rose 38%, 372 to 515. Against the disabled, up 88%. Mentally disabled, 94%. Now, the good news is the one area where hate crime went down was racial and ethnicity. That's good. But she pointed out that they think a lot of libertarians and neocons like to think that sick people like me are just sucking off the life of them, and that the social programs that help people who are sick and everything are just meant to give lazy people who don't want to work money. Now, I mean, I'm not naive to think that there aren't people who abuse these programs, and they should be ashamed of themselves. First, I'm going to go into the deficit. Guess how much we spend on non-military spending? $660 billion, according to the Congressional Budget Office. That counts Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, blah, 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 blah. The defense spending, $683 billion alone. And according to Wall Street Journal, NBC, ABC, all sorts of polls, except for, of course, Fox and Rasputin, every poll shows that 61, 71, 68% of Americans, what do you want to cut? Defense spending. They don't want to cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. So when the Tea Party nutpackers get out there and go, I'm for doing the American people's will. No, you're not. You're doing Big Daddy Warbucks' will. Oh, and here's another one. Now onto the debt. For DK Shadow, who told me, yeah, Social Security is just a big IOU. According to the Congressional Budget Office, the tax cuts that Obama signed into law, and the Bush tax cuts from 2003 to 8, but from 2011 to 2020, the Bush tax cuts and not the ones that Obama extended, will add 3.3 trillion in debt and 2.65 trillion in foreign debt, according to 450 economic professors, including 10 Nobel Prize winners. That's where they also got that from. All those people are wrong. The Austrian Economic School and the Tea Party people, they're right. And you know, I'm going to give a shout out to Ron Paul. The one time I agree with him, he was on MSNBC and he said we should cut defense spending. That's the area he said we need to cut the most. So even I have to say libertarian Ron Paul got it right on that one. And what has caused, they say people are fat and lazy. Okay, let's get a little bit into that. That's my next, I'm dividing this up into sections. Back in the 1980s, good old Ronnie Reagan, well, the food industry wanted to replace natural sugar, too high, with real sugar, which can make your body, you know, artificial sugar or real authentic sugar is actually not that bad for you if you eat it in, again, moderate quantities. It's only when you go on the binging splurge does it hurt. But in the 80s, they started replacing real sugar with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, saccharin, high fructose corn syrup, and aspartame, excuse me, corn syrup, and other modified toxins that were not regulated. They were not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration. They just went on through. So, the obesity rate since 1980 has went up by an astounding 54%. Now over 34% of the population is, well, actually it's climbing, but this is the last 2009 stat, so this is a little outdated. If somebody wants to get a more updated one, please. But from 2009, 33 to 34% of Americans were obese. And you're like, well, that's just bad eating. Nope. Got another topic here that talks about another thing that's been causing Americans to gain weight. That has been working too much. Because of worser wages, worser jobs, and all that other, that has to do with the economy. Now, these are for college graduates. 31% of college graduate males 31% work 50 hours or week or more, up from 22% in 1980. 31% of people, 40% of Americans get less than 7 hours of sleep, up from 31% in 2001. 60% of us don't eat properly. Now everybody's like, well, what does this have to do? If you eat your food fast, it has been proven by scientists and stuff that your food does not have time to process, and that it doesn't give your metabolism time to process the food, and what happens is you get bigger. We used to have longer eating hours and stuff, lunch breaks, but they've been shortened. Now, but if this is college graduates, I actually looked on another place where, with poor people, it's over 43%, I think 43%, that are working more than 60 hours a week. Over 6-7 million people working 2 jobs, sometimes 3, working 18 hours a day. Now, somebody tell me, how the hell are they going to have time to live and eat right? So when you see somebody that's like a little bit overweight, and you're like, oh, they're just getting a government check, yep, they're fat, overweight, and lazy. Why don't you see what is going on? Or are you that blind to the reality that is happening? Why do you think a lot of Wall Street bankers and stuff are in shape and stuff? Because all they do is sit around and type and tell people what to do, and then for the rest of the day, they work like 2 hours a day, and then the rest of the time they're off on their cell phone. Yeah, man, I got my mojo going and stuff. I mean, I wish, that I had the health to work as much as other people. I mean, I do. I have a heart condition, I have epilepsy, I have arthritis, I have an ulcer, I have a lot of conditions, and my doctor has deemed me unfit to work. I know I'm taking a risk by telling this, because I would love to get a job. I would. But the fact of the matter is, when your doctor tells you no, and you have to, when you fill out an application, and this is when I was first turned down my disability, I went to fill out an application for a job. This was a long time ago. I had to put my disabilities. It's the law. Because they always contact your doctors and stuff. So when I did that, they turned me down. Nobody gets discriminated against more than handicapped. Want another example? I'll give you the media. Why is it okay for Family Guy? Nobody bats an eye when, and I love the show Family Guy, they make fun of Michael J. Fox and his Parkinson's disease. Big old laugh, nobody gets mad. But they make fun of, Jews or blacks or whites, rednecks, and a stink is raised. A man was killed in Florida. He was mentally handicapped, and the guys didn't like him. He got less than 6 months, a year in jail for murder. It was not considered a hate crime. It's not considered a hate crime to bully and kill sick and those who are weak. Be proud, Tea Party. Be proud, neocon libertarians. This is your philosophy. This is what you want. I guess if the us weaklings and stuff can't keep up, we should all just fall over dead, right? To hell with the rest of us. As long as you healthy, rich people get to live your life, right? You make me sick. And that is the truth.